Okay, so now I've got that started. I'm gonna open up betaflight. Oh, it's already connected. Look at that. Oh, and my battery's low. Okay, first I'm gonna disconnect. So I've already plugged in my drone into my PC. I have a new COM open, COM 3. Connect, and I had auto connect already done. I turned on permanently expo mode, open last tab, and yeah, dark mode. I need to get a new battery because that's not gonna last me that long. Actually, I think it's dead now, so I'm actually gonna disconnect, take out the battery, grab a new battery, and then plug that battery in. I don't know if you heard that or not. Alright, connect. There we go, 14 volt, perfect. So, setup. When you first log in or load in, you're gonna have this. You're gonna calibrate your stuff. It's gonna put your pitch and your roll to 0 degrees, which is always nice. And then ports. This is for your RX, your receiver, and for your transmitter. Usually it's going to be UART1 most likely. Click that and then save reboot. When you click that, it's going to disconnect, but you have the idle connect, and then it's going to open the last page because we had reopen last tab on connect. It's very important, helps you save time. Then if we go to configuration, we have our drone. Mine, so I had my thing flipped, the ESC flipped, so I had to do a lot of stuff. These were not the correct motor placements. Then I turned that to 4. I learned all this from Joshua Bardwell. I'll show a bunch of not show his video, but like show where to go. He also said set this to 180, which is great. So then this is your receiver. I have it on S bus. It is I'll pop it up on the screen, but the receiver I'm using is a R9DS. It's a radio link. Yep, radio link. I'm gonna go skip over those ones, go to receiver. So as you can see, my receiver is connected. I can move the joysticks, throttle up and down, my roll, my pitch. I don't know why this one's right here, but it is in the exact center, so maybe it's a little off. And also the yaw. So these were not like this, where it's 1000, 2000, 2000, 1000. Also, I had a few of these mixed up, so the throttle was like up here or something. When you first click this, it's going to go default, which is going to mix all your stuff up most likely. And then you just have to change the letters. So, here, I'm going to mix it up real quick. I don't know if that's going to change a lot. It's kind of annoying to fix it. Here, I'm going to change E and A. So, EA. So now, the throttle, nope. Okay, so pretty sure these two. No, that's correct. I don't know why it's correct. Oh, it's because I didn't save it. Here. You gotta save it. I'm gonna save it real quick. And it's saved. So then no, that's pitch. Oh, this is now my throttle. So my roll is now my throttle. Then my throttle is now my roll. So then you find that this is A, T. I know which ones I flipped. I just have to flip these two back. AE. Save it. Oh, okay. So I really did screw it up. Okay, so E and T. So I'm gonna flip E and T. Let's go TE. Save. There we go, throttle. Yaw. Pitch, and then roll. Here we go. It goes all the way almost to 2000 or 1000. Then I have some flips for arming. Those are working. So if we go to, oh, so he also said center 1500, 2000 high, and 1010. If we go to modes, we have my arming. So disabled arm, or actually I think that's backwards, I don't know. There's a pre-arm, so it's like your pre-arm and then you have to arm. There's my beeper, and then on the back I have flip over after crash. I believe that is turtle mode, which goes back into position. I didn't mess with any of those. Let's go to motors. So originally I had motors flipped around all over the place, so like, here, let me open my notepad real quick. File, open. There we go. So I had motor 3 as number 1, motor 1 is number 2, motor 2 is number 4, and motor 4 is number 3. And also position 1 and position 4 were reversed. So I had to fix that. This is an easy way to fix that. So I went to here. There's my little chiming. So then I searched up resources. Nope, it's just resource, and it'll give you all these little tabs. So you can see motor 1 is on BO3, motor 2 BO1. It'll be different with your drone, however you have your drone set up. So if I had motor 3 as number 1, I would find motor 1 is on position BO3. So if I found motor 1, which is on 2, I would type in resource motor 1, and then the position I would want it to go to, where motor 1 should be, is BO3, B03. And if I clicked enter, and then it should change motor 1 to BO3. So, and then you would continue on. So if I pulled up my notepad, resource motor 1 to B03, and then I would resource motor 2 to B01. As you can see, it's not going in like numerical order. Resource motor 3 to A15. As you can see, that changed. Resource motor 4 to E04. And if you had like several other motors, you could change that, which that should set all your things to the proper ones. But that only fixes one problem, setting all the motors to where they're supposed to go. So I'm going to exit that out. So if we wanted to reverse the motors, we would then have to make sure you type in save. Whenever you do all that, type in save and then enter. I've already saved mine, so it's good. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to go to, oh, and it auto connects. Turn off auto connect. I'm going to go to down here, BL Heli Suite 32. Then you would have to come down here, select the COM 3, connect, give it a second. At first it didn't like my stuff, it didn't want to do it properly. As you can see, it's unknown, so let's check. There we go, it found all the ESCs. So if I can unselect all of them, so just going for the one, I can click the slider for reverse. That was motor position 1 was reversed, and then if I went to 4, I could also reverse that, which that solves putting the motors in the right position, and if they're reversed, how to remap them. How I got BL Heli Suite, it was either this, yeah, there's a zip right here that you can download. I don't know, I don't think this one worked, or I don't know, you're gonna have to go to these different websites and see which one actually works. There's just a bunch of them. I think the Google Drive one is the best one. It's actually by them, whoever made the Heli Suite. And then if you go to Joshua Bardwell, you can have, if you also want the Chrome app, if you're using a Chromebook or anything that supports the Chrome, which I have. Of course, I'm winning a Windows machine, but I've got Google Chrome on it, so I can do all the little Chrome apps, and I believe I don't have it. Yeah, I don't know. And he talks about how to do all that. It wasn't really useful for me, so I just didn't want to do it anyways. But also in the BL Heli Suite 32, there's this way. If you go to music note configuration, I feel like I'm going fast, but if you need to pause it, it's okay. Music editor. So this guy, Rocks Wolf, he has a bunch of these different things. I'll open his channel in a bunch of these for the 30 BL Heli 32, not Suite. Different little things that whenever you plug in your quadcopter, it's gonna make like this little tune, and then it's gonna go beep beep, you know, the beeping. So you would select, or you would copy this, make sure you take note of these two, go into here, then you paste it, and then you go to make sure it's clicked on your length and your interval. That'll give you that, and then you go through each one of the ESCs. Sometimes they're different, sometimes they're same. And apply the music, and then that's how you do that. And then you would do right setup, it sends it to the drone. But whenever you go into BL Heli Suite 32, you're gonna make sure that you're disconnected from Betaflight, or else it won't connect to your drone. And you can't send all this stuff there. Maybe I can change some of this, but I don't know what exactly it means. So I would suggest going to Joshua Bardwell. He has a bunch of videos. I don't know where it is, but he has videos explaining exactly what goes on with BL Heli Suite 32. You can actually also go to Project Blue Falcon. He has a bunch of stuff, which is very, very helpful. So then I'm going to disconnect. I don't know if you can hear that. My little tune going off. I'll have to get an audio clip of that. Auto connect, and we're back on. So as you can see, whenever I connect, all this is good. So my flight controller is the correct way, but my ESC was twisted 90 degrees. But if you did not have your flight controller the correct way, there's an easy way to fix that. If you go to configuration, I believe. Here, I'm gonna find it real quick. Oh, you can also set your TX and some of your stuff to beep, like your drone motors to beep, so that if it ever gets lost, you can do that. Here, let me see if I can. I think it's this. So board and sensor alignment. If you roll your board, like, I don't know, probably yaw. If you move your board in a certain degrees, your flight controller, then you can edit it in here, and you can change it to however it was, how you flipped it. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff that changed. So say that your throttle doesn't, well, mine doesn't go to 2000. Here, let's use my roll. Roll goes to 1000 to 2000, and it's 1500. So whatever it is right here, whatever, it's probably 1073, and then this is 2080 something. What you would do, and then let's say that one of your roll stick doesn't go all the way to 1000, doesn't go all the way to 2000, and it's not in the 1500 exact spot. You would go to here, I believe. Can't let that do its stuff. Alright, so I believe it goes 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have our roll right here. So every time you go from the receiver to the CLI tab, it's going to disconnect and then reconnect. So whenever you go out of the CLI tab and go and like click receiver, it's going to disconnect. So you want to make sure you always type in save and then enter whenever you're doing stuff. For 1 you're going for, so I was going for 0, which is the first one, and then 1938 if you want to. So you would type in 1071, the lowest, then the highest if you're trying to get it to the 1000 to the 2000. But let's say it's flipped. Let's say that when you press your throttle up, it's going to disconnect. Make sure you type in save. Well, if you push your throttle up and it went down, or if you push your throttle down and it went up, you're going to type in the backwards. So you're going to go 1938, 10, whatever it was, to 1071 backwards, so then it's going to flip it. I believe that's a rough and dirty way of saying that. I also put this, I don't think I used this. So yeah, that's mainly what I had to do. It was kind of difficult to connect my thing to my drone to this, because you gotta find a USB C or whatever the connection is that sends data. It doesn't just charge a phone. So once you get that, it should come up, and then that's how you use the CLI port to write in commands that'll help you switch around motors so that they're in the correct positions, and then also make sure your sticks are doing the correct thing. Then BLE Suite 32. Remember, I don't know which one. I believe it's the Google Drive folder that's the best. If you just search up BLE 32, all these sites should come up. I think the Mediafire is the old one, or it's an official one, but then you have this one. And then whenever so I'm gonna disconnect right now, turn it off. If you need drivers, you're gonna need drivers. Whenever it says welcome, to make sure that your ports work with your drone, you have these different driver sites to get. I also watched which one? This one, Joshua Bardwell's complete setup guide. It's a 50-minute long video, but it's a great video. He sets up his stuff in his Tyrannus, but I don't have a Tyrannus. It shows you all the channels and all of that, so I had to do it through the betaflight, all the changing this to the 1000 to 2000, all that stuff inside betaflight. So you can either, depending on what type of controller you have, you can do it in your controller, or you can do it in betaflight. This drone mesh, he has the exact flight controller, the Flywoo GOKU F722, I believe I have, or it's F7 dual. Here, this is my Flywoo F7 dual. That's what I have. Yeah, it talks about how up here is your I believe up here is your what's it called? Your VTX port, your ground 5 volts, and then I don't know which one I put that in. And your camera ground 5 volts, and then the first one, and then for my gosh, I'm blanking on everything. My receiver for the transmitter, ground 5 volts RX1 for the where is it? The UART one. That should be for your receiver to work. Depending on what type of flight control you have to have a battery plugged in. I have it plugged in through my oh geez, what are these things called? I made my own. You can find it there. A smoke stopper. Joshua Bardwell has a great one. You can find these little bulb connector thingies. Then you use a, I believe that's a male, and then there's the female version side for that plugs into your drone. This plugs into the battery, and it doesn't blow your drone up. Smoke stopper, it's great. And get UV. I have an 22 stack. Let's look this up. There we go. Get FPV. There's the stack. 80 bucks, kind of expensive, but I haven't seen these lights come on at all, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. It comes with everything you need. Yeah. And then it tells you the different wiring. Here's your wiring, like I said, your video out, your VTX, your camera, minus plus extra wire, minus plus extra wire, and then your minus plus, and then your RX1 or your other thing. If you want to do your motors and you want to solder it straight to the board, not use the connector right here, you can do that. I just decided to use the connector because it was easy. Okay, so I had problems having my middle set to the 1500 mark on my Radiolink controller. So I'm gonna go to real life and show you how I made it so that it was at the 1500 mark and it wasn't over or under, just perfectly at it, with the, I think it's 1000 below and 2000 above, I think, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I'll switch over right now. So I have the Radiolink AT9S Pro, and I had a hard time for the 1500 mark setting it. So what you do with that, go to basic menu, you want to go to your sub trim, and then your first four are your roll, pitch, throttle, yaw. But I don't know why they're set to a airplane, because I have my thing set as a multi-rotor, but for some reason it's airplane terminology, because quads don't have rudders or ailerons, I think that's what it stands for, but they do have throttle, but sometimes it's not going to be in the right mapping. So like it says throttle, but it was actually the, I think it was the roll, or no, the yaw. This one's the yaw on mine, so I had to add 29 to make it the perfect 1500. So that's how I solved that. There's a few other things you could do. Go down. Your aux channel, you can set all your auxes with different switches. So channel 5, so 1 through 4 is your pitch, yaw, throttle, and your other one. And then I have my switches set up to different one of these, to where I have my pre-arm right there, and then my arm, so you have the pre-arm before your arm. I think this is turtle mode maybe, or is it the beeper? I think that's the beeper, and then this one is turtle mode. I haven't tested out yet, but hopefully I will. There's also the trainer mode. If you have servos, the receive. That just tells you different stuff that help you out. System. You can go here. You can make sure your out is S-bus if you're having trouble connecting. For the receivers, most of the time it's going to be the receiver. Whenever you press the button to bind it with the remote, just turn the remote on while it's flashing for the receiver to get the signal or send the signal, and the receiver does the whole thing. It connects it up. So if it's not connecting, make sure it's S-bus or whatever you're using. I have the black as the background. You can shut down. You have all these different things, which is pretty cool. That's why I like this one. But yeah,